Hold on. Call us when ready.
When it comes to Xbox One, there's no bigger game right now than Respawn Entertainment's Titanfall, a frantic first-person shooter that takes the best elements of Call of Duty's Modern Warfare, Halo, and old-school arena shooters and brings them together into one of the most entertaining FPSs available. There are many different ways to tackle Titanfall. While it does push you into speeding around the environment as a nimble pilot, there is scope to tackle attrition hardpoint domination matches as everything from a Titan Slayer to a high-altitude camper. It's really up to you how you want to play, but you'll need to ensure your selection of weapons and equipment is up to the task. We've had some questions from the X1 community during our Twitch feeds, which you can view every week at twitch.tv/X1Mag, over which loadouts we typically take out into the battlefield and whether we had any advice. Truth is, the great thing about Titanfall is that it's not Call of Duty. There is no one set combination that has any superiority over anything else. It's a game that hands you the tools to complete your task at hand and lets you run riot as you best see fit. That said, that doesn't mean we can't provide you with what we think is a fantastic template for some various gameplay styles. This week, we'll be looking at what we like to call our all-purpose loadout. This is typically the setup we jump out of a dropship with, used to mop up some early pilot and grunt kills to accelerate our Titanfall. This also tends to be our fallback loadout, should we find ourselves up a certain creek without a paddle. So up in custom slot number 1 is the R-101C Carbine. It's a full auto assault rifle that finds a great balance between fire rate, range, and accuracy. This is the default weapon for many pilots, and there's a reason behind that. We like to equip this one with the hollow sight and the suppressor, which keeps enemies blind to our mean kill streaks. We also like to take the charge rifle out as a Titan deterrent. You know, it doesn't lock on, but if you get a full charge and you get hit, it really does some mean damage. And as you can see, we've also taken the B3 Wingman, but look, if you're pulling out your sidearm in a game of Titanfall, you are really in trouble. We just like the B3 because it looks pretty badass. When it comes to tactical ability, this is where you need to be a bit careful. We did used to take the invisibility cloak out, but we found the active radar pulse to be a much greater asset. It grants you daredevil-like powers. You'll have the ability to see orange outlines of any players in your local vicinity. It's a useful tool, especially at the start of maps. It's also great for getting the drop on cloaked pilots and offering them a swift, roundhouse kick to the face for their terrible ability decisions. For your tier 1 selection, you'll want to pick Power Cell. It recharges your tactical ability a little bit faster, meaning there's barely any downtime between your active radar pulse. If you decide to go with Enhanced Parkour Kit instead, it is great for getting a little bit of extra hang time, but you will need to burn some fairly rare cards to keep your radar sense on par with ours. There is a tier 2 selection, and this is an important one. We always like to take out the Warpfall transmitter. While we do love to see our Titans rocket down from the sky like every other pilot on the battlefield, there is nothing quite like getting it in the action faster. There's also a great pro tip here. If you jump on the back of a Titan and rodeo it and start just shooting down a little bit, usually the pilots will slow down, giving you an opportunity to cool your Titan down, leap off just in time to turn around and see it crush the Titan and the pilot inside. It's the sort of move that'll have you shouting "Xbox, record that," and the other guy leaving you some negative feedback for just being a little bit more awesome than he is. Overall, this loadout has been designed to keep you as versatile as possible. It won't succeed at any one thing in particular, but it is great for churning out the pilot kills. You notice we didn't go into depth on Titan selection. That's because there's a little bit more scope for personal influence. If you prefer speedy robots, rock up a Strider. If you want raw power, go for the Atlas. If you want imposing strength, the Ogre's standing by. Hopefully you'll give this loadout a spin, maybe try some different attachments on your guns, or make some personal tweaks and find success with it. Across all of our hours with Titanfall, this is the one we found the most joy with. But that's not to say we don't use others as well. Hopefully we'll share them with you in the coming weeks, but for now, check out all of our Titanfall coverage and more over at xp1.co.uk. Be sure to tune in to our Twitch live streams every Thursday at 5 PM GMT over at twitch.tv/X1Mag. And remember, don't get cocky out there, nobody likes a teabagger.